Welcome to your All Levels Yoga practice. Coming into a comfortable position, whether that is seated or laying on your back, finding that place that you can settle in. Allow the eyes to gently close. Back teeth lightly parted. Jaw relaxed. Tongue soft at the base of the mouth. Settling in to an easy, natural flow of breath. Let each exhale soften and ease you. Letting go of any tightness, any tension. When you feel settled, feel comfortable, allow your breath to come under your control as you ease into your practice of three-part breath, Dirga Pranayama. Taking those longer, slower inhales, longer, slower, deeper exhales. One more long, slow breath in, maybe a slight pause at the top of the breath. Long, slow, deep exhale, maybe bringing the belly back to the spine to really squeeze out the bottom of the lungs. And when you're ready to take your inhale, returning to your natural, easy flow of breath in and out. And when you're ready to open your eyes, do so on an inhale. And let your exhale be a wriggle, a shake out, a sigh. And if you're on your back, just bring yourself up to find a comfortable seat. Preparing to move into a side stretch. So it's an inhale to lift up, lengthening through the spine, and your exhale over. And you can flow on your breath. Inhale to center, exhale over. You can hold one side and pull, so hold the stretch. Your choice on how you wish to move. Just feel that beautiful opening of the sideways, creating a little space from the curve of the hip bone up to the baby rib. Maybe you can feel a little lengthening through the armpit, through the elbow, maybe even through the wrists and finger joints. And just take it at your own pace. So you can really connect to your breath here. Inhale to center. Exhale over for a side stretch. If you remember which side you went to first, then finish with the opposite side and bring yourself to center. Moving into some shoulder shrugs. Bring the shoulders up behind the ears and lay them down gently on the exhale. Bring them up, shrug, shrug, shrug. Lay them down gently. One more time. Bringing up the shoulders, shrug, shrug, shrug. Big breath out to lay them down nice and gently. With the head a little nod, the shoulders a little roll out. If you're sitting cross-legged, bring your legs up and forward and give them a little shake out, maybe a little fall. Maybe some roll through the ankles. And when you're ready, button walk to the top end of your mat. Moving into Dandasana legs, long legs in front of you, pressing to the sits bones, maybe even a little rock on the sits bones. And then lift up tall through the spine. Take a look at your toes and pull them up towards the kneecaps. Bring the arms out, palms facing in, shoulders up and down the back. See how strong you can feel sitting in this position, pressing down into the back of the thighs, pressing down into the back of the calves. Create a little bit more space through the eyes of the elbows and spread the fingers and toes wide. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, tuck the chin to roll on down to land lightly on your mat. Modification, bring your feet to the floor. Maybe hold the back of the thighs and bring yourself down, knees into the chest and a rock across the lower back. And then come through center. The left foot is going to the floor, right foot is going to the sky. Point and flex. And then point the toes. We're going to draw little circles to the ceiling. The whole leg is long. So all the way from the back of the hip to whatever is the longest toe. Deep stretch in the front of the ankle, the shin there, and then little circles around in the opposite direction. Bring the leg to center, flex the foot, take the heel as high to the sky as it will go. Look at your toes, spread them a little wider, and on an exhale, bend your knee and float that foot back down. Then it's down, left knee into the chest, left foot to the sky, point and flex. And then pointing the toes, and then drawing that little circle to the ceiling. So the whole leg is long, solid. Don't worry if they're not truly circles. And then circle in the opposite direction. And bringing the leg to center, flex the foot, take the heel as high up away from you as you can. Pull the toes down and spread them super wide. Big breath in, and then on an exhale, bend your knee and float that foot to the floor. Keep the feet hip width apart, bring the palms down beside you. Drop the shoulders, make sure you're on the center of the back of the head. On an exhale, we're going to lift the arms about 4 inches off the ground or so, tuck the chin and rise on up. So it's a big breath in to begin with, and an exhale to lift and rise, look in between the thighs. On your inhale, you'll come down. It's your exhale, belly down towards the spine, arms lift and fingers pull you forward. You may want to practice your candle blowing breath here. It's a deep breath out. Check that your feet are hip width apart. How about one more? And then exhale, you lay your head down, bring your knees into the chest, and rock across your lower back. Bring the knees to center, bring the heels of the hands onto the top of the knees, flex the feet. You're going to push the knees away and then bring the knees back in. So on the breath, your inhale to push them away and your exhale to bring the knees in. Imagine your feet are pushing away a heavy door. And then experiment. Take the knees where your mid-back stays grounded. So knees over the hips only if the mid-back is down. If your mid-back lifts, just keep your knees in a little closer towards the chest. The next time the knees are away from you, you hold there. Remove your hands and take them down beside you, shoulders down. Back of the thighs, back of the calves facing the mat. 90 degrees if you can here. Same action is coming up, so it's an exhale. Tuck the chin, come on up, look through the thighs. You'll come down on your inhale. Might be really helpful to use your candle blowing breath here. How about one more? And the next time we're going to lay your head down, bring your knees in, go into knee circles, take the knees around, let the hips move, let the shoulders move. And then changing the knee circle direction. and coming to center. Both feet are coming to the floor, soles of the feet together, knees out, moving into reclining Baddha Konasana. Let the back of the hands come to the ground, mid-back rises, belly soft. So you can have the hold between the soles of the feet super soft, or if you want a little bit more stretch for the inner thigh, the hip, press deeply and drop your knees a little closer to the floor. On your next inhale, let the knees come on up, separating out the feet hip width apart. Bring the knees one at a time into the chest. We're going to spinal rock up to seated. So take a deep breath in and then exhale, spinal rock up to seated. We're coming into a twist, moving into Dandasana legs. So legs long in front of you. Sit nice and tall. Again, maybe a rock of the sits bones and lengthening up through the spine. You really can press down into the back of the thighs, the back of the calves to engage the legs here. And when you're ready, bending your left knee and bringing the left foot to the floor. And just slide the foot up and down and find a place that it's comfortable for you to hold that leg. So you're going to hold it with your right hand and your left hand, and let your right fingers come down beside your right leg. Sit nice and tall. I'm going to float that arm out. You can walk your fingers like you're playing the piano. And as you rotate over, looking behind that right shoulder. Breathe. Try not to lean back, lifting in from the sits bones all the way up to the top of the head. Make sure that this left foot is to the ground, the right leg is down. Lift tall and begin to walk the hand back. And when you're all the way forward, soles of the feet together, nice, easy butterfly wings. And then bring the knees up and bring your legs in front of you. Again, maybe a rock on your sits bones or a little shake of your legs. Bending your left knee and bringing your left foot to the floor. And again, just find where that foot needs to be for you. You're going to hold it with your right hand and let your left fingertips come down beside that left leg. Sit nice and tall, and then begin to walk that hand across the ground or slide it across the ground as you come into your rotation and look over your left shoulder. Press deeply into the back of your right leg. Press deeply into the sole of the left foot. Try not to lean back. Be tall through the spine. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, begin to unwind. Just flowing that hand down around the floor. And when you're all the way forward, knees out, soles of the feet together, easy butterfly wings. Let's be moving into cat and dog next, so you can stay in a seated position, or if you prefer, come up into a tabletop position. Find a place that's comfortable for you to move through the spine. So it's a big breath out to round into your cat, and a big breath in to lift and lengthen up into your dog. And you can build the spinal movement. Every time you come into your dog, maybe tilt the tailbone a little further behind you, lift up through the mid-spine, and maybe puff the chest forward and squeeze in the shoulder blades. Or if it's just easier for you today, just come up to a nice tall spine. See if you can connect this movement to your three-part breath, the Dirga Pranayama. Long, slow, three-part breath to round into your cat, and a long, slow, three-part breath to lift into your dog tilt. And the next time you're rounded into your cat, stay there and see what you can engage. Maybe the belly back a little bit more. Maybe the breastbone back towards the spine a little bit more. Maybe the chin a little closer to the top of the throat and the head relax a little bit more. And on an inhale, come on up through center. If you're on all fours in table, stay there. We're coming up to join you. If you're seated, bring your legs over to one side and lift yourself up to all fours. And once you've found your tabletop position, take a little body roll around. Move with some freedom here. So it could be a little circle of body roll. It could be really big, taking the hips back and the shoulders forward. And then when you're ready, take yourself around in the opposite direction. And then bring yourself into table. Wrists under the shoulders. Eyes of the elbows forward. If you're on your palms, fingers are wide. Breathe. You need to protect your knuckles. Your wrists, sorry, just please come up onto your knuckles there. We're moving into Sunbird. Right fingertips go directly towards the top end of your mat in line with that shoulder, and your left toes go back. And when you're ready, lifting up the arm or the leg or both at the same time, and finding a steady gaze down towards your mat. Just notice if your foot is flexed or pointed, and change it to the opposite. So if it's pointed, change it to flexed. If it's flexed, change it to pointed. Maybe you might have noticed it was somewhere hanging in between. Wait for an exhale for that hand, that leg to come down and slide back into table. Check in with your wrists, your knees, your shoulders, your ankles, and engage a nice strong table. When you're ready, let your left hand go forward, right toes directly behind you. Lift the belly, lift the chest, and when you're ready, lifting the arm or the leg or both at the same time. Finding your steady gaze down towards your mat. Check that right arm so you're not sinking into your wrist here, you're lifting and lengthening up. And then again, without looking at your foot, if it's pointed, flex it. If it's flexed, pointed it. Maybe it was somewhere in between. Take another deep, long, slow breath in, and on an exhale, bring that hand down, bring that knee down. Take a deep breath in and exhale back to any child that feels right for you. Maybe a wide-kneed child, let the abdominals hang softly between the thighs, might feel comfortable. Totem pole child, one fist on top of the other, resting the forehead on there. And if there's a gap between your thighs and your calves, then find your yoga blanket and bring it in that space between to support you in your child. Stay here for another big breath in and out. And on your next inhale, coming up to all fours. A nice strong table, belly is lifted, chest is lifted, right knee is going out to the side in fire hydrant. Try not to lean off to the side too much, staying centered in your mat. Moving into knee circles. You may want to begin with a little knee circle, and then begin to spiral it out wider. You can feel that big muscle that you're moving. And in your range of motion. And when you're ready, taking it around in the opposite direction. Bringing that knee right back out to fire hydrant and hold. Kind of center yourself off into the center of your mat if you can. As your foot flexed and your toes wide. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, float that knee down. Give yourself a little wriggle, a little roll out through the hips and shoulders, and then come back into a nice strong table. When you're ready, left knee goes out into fire hydrant. If you're leaning off to your right quite a bit, pull the energy up from the fingers through wrists to the top of the shoulders and bring yourself to center. And knee circles when you're ready. Again, you can go for big ones straight away, or begin with little knee circles and spiral them out each time. Just notice what you're feeling. And then when you're ready, take those knee circles around in the opposite direction. Bringing that knee out in fire hydrant. Again, lengthen up the arms. If you're on your palms, eyes of the elbows forward, lifting up through the upper arm muscles. And on an exhale, bring that knee down. Take the hands a little wider. Take the knees a little wider. And go back to those body rolls with that wider stance underneath you. Maybe you want to bring your fingers in towards each other rather than towards the top end of your mat. And maybe you want to take those hips all the way back. Then change direction when you're ready. and you come up through center. Walk your hands in so they're shoulder width apart. Bring your knees in so they're hip width apart. Take an exhale and come back into a child. Preparing to come up for our standing postures. Bringing your hands in front of your knees, rolling back over your toes. Get that beautiful toe stretch. Let the head drop and walk the hands in close to the feet. And when you're ready, hips come up higher than the shoulders. Let your head truly dangle off the spine and roll yourself up at your own pace. Don't wait for me when you're all the way up. Maybe a nice empty coat sleeves or a shake out or a wriggle or a stretch might feel good. Get a little airflow around you. And then finding your mountain. It doesn't matter which way you're facing on your mat. Find your mountain, feet hip width apart, and then roll backwards and forwards. Rocking onto the back of the toes, and then lifting the toes as you come to your heels. And then find the four corners of both feet down, grounded, and lift all the way up to the top of the head. Bring the fingertips down beside you so the arms are long and lengthening, pulling the shoulders down. Let the right arm come out to position. Turning the palm up, place imaginary weight on it, and lift that heavy weight up towards the sky. On an exhale, slide your hand down your leg and come on over for a standing side stretch. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Just feel that beautiful stretch right in the intercostal muscles, the side waist, the side of the hip. Just take the stretch to where it works for you. Inhale to the sky. Turn the palm away from you and scoot the arm out long as it comes down. When it's down, big shoulder roll both sides and then around the opposite direction. Returning to a nice strong mountain, standing tall and bringing out your left arm. Turn the palm up, place imaginary weight on it, and bring that weight up to the sky. Find a space in the side waist, and on an exhale, slide your hand down the outside of your leg and come on over to this side and just see how this feels. Check that your ears stay by your upper arm and the arm hasn't come forward. If it does, just come up a little higher. You'll get a much better stretch. Breathe. Make sure you're not sinking into your ankles, that everything is lengthened. And then inhale the arm long up to the sky. Turn the palm away from you and sweep it out and all the way back down. And when it's down, you may want to bend your knees and roll the shoulders and give yourself a little bob up and down. And then go around in the opposite direction. Yeah, just a nice little release there. And then returning to your mountain. Standing nice, long, and strong. Toes forward. Breathe. Pull the energy up, arms out to position. Palms come up. Place imaginary weight on your palms. Just feel them holding something heavy up. And then on an inhale, bring them up towards the sky. So wide V, tall mountain, Anjali Mudra or steeple. We're coming over to the right on an exhale. So lift tall on your inhale. Coming over to your right. So if you have your hands together, this elbow is not pulling you down. They're close to your ears. If you've got wide V arms, it's the same space from the ears to the upper arms. Inhale up to the sky. Be really, really tall and exhale over to the left. Take a deep breath in to rise all the way up. Bend your knees and just wriggle out the hips, roll up through the spine and the shoulders, and then go for a great length, reaching up to the universe. Turn the palms away from you and sweep long, strong arms all the way out and down. When you're connected, back down, be tall in a strong mountain. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, soften and let it all release and let go. Coming up to the top end of your mat, finding your mountain with your mat ahead of you, because you're going to be stepping forward. So again, check that your feet are hip width apart, that you're in your mountain, standing really nice and tall. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, soft bend to both knees and step your right foot forward. And moving into Virabhadrasana, long warrior one. So creep or step that foot out to where it needs to go for you. Check that your knee is over your ankle or before your ankle, and check that it's in between your big toe and your little toe, so it's over the top of the foot. So sometimes we tend to sink that back knee down a little bit, so see if you can lengthen out down that thigh, the back of the knee, and the back of the calf muscle. Bring the arms up in front of the shoulders and take the shoulders back. Spread your fingers wide. Let your right thumb pull forward and rise that long arm all the way to the sky. And then your left thumb pull you forward and all the way up. Finding that twisty spot right ahead of you. Turn the palms away from you and sweep those arms out to position. Long, strong arms. Breathe. Take the arms about 2 inches or so behind you. Feel the top of the shoulder stretch. I'm going to come forward just a little bit on an exhale. So if you could go all the way down to your thigh, think about 1/4 of the way down there. Breathe. Should be able to say hello to your right hip just there. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Take a big breath in to rise the head up. Bring the arms back out to position. Turning the palms up and bring them back up to tall mountain. Take a deep inhale, and on an exhale, relax the arms, soften them all the way down. You want to roll your shoulders here. So easy releases, turn to the side. If you're going to step forward, take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, step that back leg forward. You'll feel it. You may want to ankle circle or stretch out, and then return to the top end of your mat, finding your mountain. Again, long, tall legs. But on an exhale, we're going to step forward. So soften the knees and then step your left foot forward. Again, take it to where it works. It might be quite different stride this leg than the other leg. All depends on your hips, your knees, your ankles. Lengthen through that back leg. Bring your arms forward. Roll the shoulders back. Fingers wide. So slowly, like that left thumb, go forward and up towards the sky. And then slowly the right thumb rises you up towards tall mountain arms. Shoulders stacked above your hips. Steady gaze ahead of you. Strong back leg. Turn the palms away from you and sweep them out to position. And think about taking the hands or arms just a couple of inches behind you, like a little airplane wing. And again, if you thought you could go all the way to your thigh, then just come down about 1/4 of that way. Breathe. Hopefully you can feel the stretch in that left hip, strong right leg. And on an inhale, rise back up, nice and tall, arms back out to position. Turn the palms up, sweeping them back up to tall mountain arms. Take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, let the arms float down. When you're down, you may want to roll the shoulders or nod your head. Again, an easy release is to return to the side of your mat. If you're coming forward, use that big out breath to do so. And then give yourself any shake out, wriggle, or stretch that you need to do for yourself. And coming into a comfortable wide stride, moving into lateral angle. So when you're there, pull the inner thighs up. And when you're ready, picking up your right toes and bringing them to the top end of your mat. Lifting up the left heel, taking it out. And then bending the right knee and walking that foot out to where it's comfortable for you. Let your hand rest on your thigh, and when you're ready, let that left arm come out and all the way up to the sky. Wait for your exhale to come on over. You want to go a little deeper, you may want to go a little wider, you may want to come down onto your forearm. But the shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. If you're going all the way down to the ground, again, this left shoulder doesn't come forward, it stays stacked above the ground. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, relax that arm, just let it come on down. Let your hand rest on your hip, your waist, and then bring your hand to your mid-thigh and lift yourself all the way up. And when you're ready, bring your toes forward, your heels back, bend your knees, and walk yourself into center. Moving into lateral angle on the opposite side, so finding again that comfortable width. Pull the inner thighs up. When you're ready, left foot up and over 90 degrees. Right heel up and out. When you're ready, bend your knee, creep that foot, step it out wherever it needs to go. Check that your knee hasn't passed your ankle, and check that you're rolling over to the outside edge of that back foot, and this inner thigh is lifting up here. So you're strong throughout the hips. Bring your hand to mid-thigh and then let your right arm go out. Palm up, down, your choice. Inhale to the sky. And then an exhale, come on over to your lateral angle. So you could be tall here. On each exhale, you could come over a little bit more. If your hips begin to go behind you, you actually need to widen out your stride and bend at your hip crease here a little bit more. Breathe. Deep stretch, keep rolling into that back edge of that back foot. On an exhale, let the arm release down. You may want to shake it out, release it. And then bring your hand to your thigh. Take a breath in to lift. And when you're up, left toes forward, right heel back. Bend your knees and bring yourself to center. Big hula hoops might feel really, really good here. You might want to roll around and then take them around in the opposite direction. I'm preparing to move into balance. We're coming into Stork. So if you like to use a wall for support, make sure the hand is in line with the shoulders to push away from that to lean into your home. So maybe you want to hold onto the back of a chair. Maybe you want to be on or off your mat. Just find what is best for you. And then find your mountain. Be tall. When you're ready, let your right knee bend and let your right foot come up away from the floor. So think about 90 degrees, knee in line with the hip, ankle underneath the knee, foot flexed. Press into your left foot and lift up through this left hip. Arms come forward, shoulders back, and on an inhale, arms go up towards the sky. Don't worry about your wobbling. And if you fall, fall gently and come back in to Stork. Find a steady gaze if you can. So notice if you're just hanging or if you can truly lift. Wait for an exhale for the arms to come down however they wish to float down. And when they're down, let that right foot float right back down, nice and slow if you can. And when you're all the way down, give yourself a wiggle, stretch, or shake out that you need. And then we're preparing to move into Stork on the opposite side. So find a new mountain. Make sure you're in a place that's good for you, that's safe, that if you fall, you're not going to hit yourself in the corner of furniture or anything like that. Just soft bend your knees and let that left foot lift away from the floor. Knee in line with the hip, ankle underneath the knee, foot flex, sole of the foot towards the ground. Check that you're pressing into your left foot and lifting up to this right hip, should I say. And then bring the arms forward, shoulders down the back. Arms all the way up to the sky. Instant. This doesn't work. Arms out wide or keep your arms down. Breathe. You can always bring them together if that feels more stable. Breathe. Keep pressing into that right foot and lifting up to your right hip. Breathe, breathe. Can you reach a little taller? On an exhale, let the arms float down the best you can. And when you're down, let that left foot come back down to to the mat, to the ground. Big circles, hip circles. Take your feet wide, bend your knees, and roll around the hips. Probably feel good. After lateral angle and stroke. Lovely. We're going to come to the top end of our mat, finding our mountain, preparing to come down through ragdoll to the mat. So when you're there, maybe you want to hold onto your elbows or make a fist to tuck the chin and roll on down towards the mat. When you're close enough, bend your knees, bring the hands to your mat, and walk yourself forward into all fours. And once there, walk your hands forward. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Keep the head up, bend at the elbows, and peel down onto the belly, onto the chest. Yeah, and when you're down, you may just want to turn your head and take some resting breaths. So think about big belly breaths here and massage your internal organs, especially with your weight down on your mat. You take some big breaths, massage all those beautiful organs. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your back. Bring the heels in close towards the sits bones. Bring the arms down beside you. Preparing to come into bridge. You're going to come up and down a couple of times, so you don't have to go all the way straight up into a strong bridge. But check that your feet are hip width apart and your big toes especially are grounded. Create that pelvic tilt and peel on up. And then consider coming down. We'll do that a couple more times. Create that pelvic tilt. Lift the hips, lift the spine. Make sure you're pressing into all four toes, five toes. And then bring the hips down. And then one more time before holding into your bridge. Think about your hip creases coming up towards the sky. If you're there, you want to roll your shoulders in to engage the upper back a little bit in the shoulders. Just take the bridge to where it works the best for you. But often here the knees are out, so press into your big toes and lift up through the hip crease. Beautiful, beautiful. If your shoulders are under, bring your arms back out and slowly peel the spine down to your mat. When you're all the way down, bring your knees into your chest and go for a lovely rock across your lower back. And then come through center. Maybe you roll through the ankles. And then bringing the feet to the floor one at a time. Take the feet about as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out to position. And when you're ready on an exhale, let the knees drape over to the right. You can always adjust the width of your feet. They can go further, they can go closer. And then turn the head to the left. Bring the head up to center. Bring the knees up. On an exhale, knees go over to the left. Adjust the width of your feet for this side. And then turn the head to the right. On an inhale, bring the head back to center. Bring the knees back up. Walk your feet in, hip width apart. Take a breath in and out. And then preparing to come into your choice of inversion. So if you like legs up, or dead bug with the legs and the arms up, or if you like a block underneath your hips, create that pelvic tilt like you would in bridge to lift the hips and bring that block underneath the hips. If you are a practitioner that likes half shoulder stand and feels safe and stable in that posture, or maybe legs up a wall that can feel really, really supportive. And very slowly begin to ease yourself down from your inversion. Let the limbs feel light and soft. And all the way down, we'll be coming in for your final posture of practice, Shavasana. So check to see what props you might need, maybe a eye covering, maybe a yoga blanket rolled underneath your knees. As you begin to settle, maybe a slow rock of the head side to side, checking that the shoulders are out nice and wide. Feel the weight of the back of the head against the mat, the weight at the back of the arms, the weight at the back of the legs. Let your whole being feel like you're sinking down into Mother Earth. And then very, very gently ease your awareness back. Feel that soft breath in and out of the nostrils. Now your fingers and toes are a little wiggle. And then ready, bending your knees, bringing the feet to the floor. Maybe a rock of your knees side to side. Bring your knees up into the chest. Float the right arm up and over beside your face. And ease yourself over to rest on the right. Left hand to the ground to help support you as you come up slowly back to find a comfortable seat. Sweeping the arms up towards the sky, placing the hands together in Anjali Mudra. And if you'd like to finish your practice with the ancient chandragram, take a breath in to prepare. Bringing your hands down your midline, allowing your thumbs to settle up the breastbone, activating your heart center, and taking a bow of your head to your heart. Namaste.